Hello, this is James Francis, and welcome to another episode of Traffic Tuesdays. Yay! In this episode, I'm going to teach you the concept of laddering your audiences, basically climbing the audience ladder. Okay, so what I mean by that is when you're first starting your very first campaign, you obviously may not have any traffic going to your website, therefore, you can't create these lookalike audiences that people tell you to create. They say to retarget people who've already visited your website, but if you're brand new, how do you even get started, right? You can't retarget people because you have no people to retarget, okay? So how do you get to that stage? Well, here's exactly what we do for all of our coaching clients and also the businesses that we manage as a part of our company as well. So let me draw this out for you on a handy notepad here. And by the way, this is the exact same strategy we use to create and run and scale campaigns like this one. We spend $4,000 and make back $8,000 within the first 30 days of them joining our list, of course, okay? And that's just one of many, of course. We have lots of coaching clients and students and everything else getting millions of dollars in success stories as well. So what we do is, to begin with, of course, as I mentioned, you will not have an audience to, retarget. So the best way to get started is with an interest audience, okay? So I'll just put a giant I there with my 5-year-old handwriting, the handwriting of a 5-year-old child. And you want to start off with an interest. Now, what I mean by that is when you're editing your ad set, you will get a little section called, targeting, and, you'll be able to enter either some preset audiences based on people's behavior on Facebook and other things, or you can type in the actual audiences that you want to target. So for example, if you're in the health or fitness niche, you could target Weight Watchers as one of them, or Jenny Craig and similar. Okay, so you target these big audiences. Preferably those audiences should be around, above 500,000 people to 1 million people. That will give Facebook's algorithm enough people to basically look through and find out the best people for your ad, okay? If you have anything less than 500,000 people, Facebook will still deliver your ad, but you may not be getting as good results as you could be getting had you chosen a bigger audience. And what you can do if you're struggling to find a big audience, 500,000 people or more, you can actually include a few of them in the ad set, which are all related and similar, and that way you will build that number up in total to above 500,000 people, okay? Now, once you have gotten many subscribers from that, and this often lasts around 2 to 3 months or so to get enough subscribers to go on to the next stage of the ladder, we climb that ladder to the lookalike audiences, okay? I'll just put LAL for lookalike, and basically what this is you upload a list of your customers or your prospects at this stage of the process to Facebook, and you say, Facebook, find me a whole massive bunch of people that are similar to whatever the list is of, so if it's prospects, it will find a whole bunch of people, of 1 million people plus, who are similar to all of the people who opted into your list for the specific lead magnet that you're promoting, okay? Which you should be, by the way, because you should be collecting people's email addresses and retargeting them and following up with them to persuade them to buy if they don't buy the first time around on an impulse buy, okay? Marketing 101. But that's for a different video if you want it. Let me know in the comments if you do. So you start out with a prospect lookalike. So I'm just going to put a giant P here at the top, again with my weird mouse skills. So there we go. That's supposed to be a P, by the way, for those of you who can't read hieroglyphics. So that's for prospects. I'll just put pro here. So you have a prospects lookalike audience, because of course at this point you won't have enough customers to create a customer lookalike audience, which is the next step of the ladder, okay? So I'll put LAL, and that is a customer lookalike audience, okay? Now, the thing with this is, with a lookalike audience, you usually start off with 1% of a specific country or the countries that you're targeting, okay? You can also create a all the way up to a 5% of a specific country. So you can say of the entire country's population, find me 1% of them that look similar to my prospects. And you can do another one which is 2 to 3%, then 4 to 5%, and so on, and even higher if you want to, right? But basically it usually works out better as a 1% audience, and that will usually give us enough customers to create a customer lookalike audience. And once again, we start off with 1%, and then we grow that to 2% and 3% and 4% and so on when we scale the campaign even larger. Okay, now the trick here is when people say, oh, lookalike audiences don't work for me, why is it not working, I'm getting really bad results, it's often because Facebook doesn't have enough data to find people similar to those people, if that makes sense. So if you're only giving Facebook, say, 50 people, Facebook may only find the profiles of those 50 people of, say, 40 of them, and within 40 people there aren't going to be too many similarities. Whereas if you upload a list of, say, 20,000 people, for example, hypothetically, then of course there's going to be more data for Facebook to look through and find similarities. Not only based on their demographics, but also based on what they like on Facebook, what they read, all that stuff as well, okay? That's why our personal best lookalike audiences have came from prospect lists and customer lists of multiple thousands of people. Our best prospect list has came from a list of 20,000 people, and the customer list has came from around 4,000 to 5,000 customers. Okay, but of course, if you're just getting started, then obviously you have to put up with what you have. You have to use what you have and use what's available to you. So I would recommend creating a lookalike audience when you get your first 1,000 prospects. Okay, so this is usually when you upgrade to the next step in the ladder. Alright, so you start off with obviously no people on your list. If you're just getting started, you use the interest targeting, and then what I will do is when I get to 1,000 people on that prospect list, I will create a lookalike audience. I'll upload that as a custom audience to Facebook using the menu at the top. Go to audiences and then upload that as a custom audience. And also if you're not sure how to do that, then you can always just Google it. It's quite simple, and Facebook provide a help section for that kind of stuff as well. And also, once we have, we can usually use that campaign for a very long time. And then what I like to do is once we get to 1,000 customers, we try out a lookalike audience of our customers. Now, sometimes the customer audience of 1,000 people doesn't work out too well, so what we'll do is just keep using the interest targeting until we get more and more customers, or keep using the prospect lookalike audience until we get more and more customers, and we'll try again at the next 1,000 interval. So, for example, 2,000, and we'll let that run, give it enough time to prove itself, whether it's a winner or a loser. Okay. Now, of course, at this stage, you can go from 1% lookalike to a 2%, 3%, 4%, 5%, and so on and so on. But at the same time, you can keep the interest targeting on as well. So you'll have one campaign or ad set which is an interest based ad set, and then we'll have one which is a customer based ad set, or a prospect based one. So you can actually have both. Okay, just make sure that there's not too much of an overlap, which you can do by excluding your lookalike audience when you're targeting your interests. Okay, that will ensure you get the best results possible, and you're not bidding against yourself and trying to outbid yourself, which will automatically raise your costs over time. Okay, so that all sounds a little bit complicated, so if you would like some help setting all of that stuff up, and if you would like me to brainstorm and basically blueprint your entire Facebook ad campaigns, all for your entire specific business dedicated to you, then let me know by clicking the link below this video to fill in the application form, and we can chat and see if I can help you to run your ads. Obviously, this is a paid service. I will actually run and manage and scale your Facebook ads for you, but if that's something you want, go ahead, click the link below this video. If not, then go ahead and use this same strategy. It works incredibly well. Some people will choose to, use retargeting audiences of, say, building a list of people who have watched a video up to 25% of the way in or something. I tend not to have so much success with that with really basic lead magnets. I usually find it's actually more profitable and more effective to just go straight in for the interest targeting straight to the squeeze page. But of course, you should always test it for your own niche. Of course, that's what advertising is all about, right? So yeah, let me know how that goes in the comment section below. If you like this video, let me know as well. Give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and I will see you very, very soon. Bye bye.